Hey, good evening, folks. How you doing? Canal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Flat day in the markets overall, at least in terms of the indices, but underneath the hood of the market, there were stocks moving. I saw over 204% breakouts today. There were a lot of stocks that were having some pretty strong moves and some follow through. The patterns that we like to trade, like the flat top breakouts and things like that, they were getting the clean follow through, and that's what you want to see for a healthy market. It doesn't necessarily, the indices don't have to be up 200 points to see a lot of stocks making moves. Oftentimes, I've found that really the best day for the best runners, at least in momentum stocks and things of that nature, are those flat days. You'll just start to see all these stocks rip. But we got a good watch list for the week. We were doing pretty good in the chat room today, and I've got a big old watch list. I originally had like 60 names. I really had to narrow it down. But I hope I do. I think I get a pretty good handle on it. So this same type of setup as SPWR. This is what we call a flat top breakout. I do think that this one's going to have some follow through. ACHM was a nice trader today. We traded a couple times. Took a loss, took a gain, took a loss, took a gain, kind of thing. But keep this one on watch. It did break, its previous high today, and you can tell by the volume pattern. This is going to be a good day trader, both long and short. Rediff, we hit this thing at 295 in the chat room today. Almost ripped $1 from the original buy point. I think that this one's probably got room. You can see this thing, the trend line goes back for quite some time. And, it looks like this $4 mark is really, really going to be, the level that, it has. It looks like that's kind of going to be where the next resistance point is. So keep an eye on that one. And you can see here the key break. And if this one goes, then, watch SIFI. Similar chart, not as clean, but similar chart. And look at the volume pattern that's coming in. We're seeing some real heat on these things. So I think that, they're going to be in play. C-Trip, similar chart to kind of like an SPWR, not as coiled, but flat top breakout, tap, 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 tap. Maybe it needs a couple more days, but you get the gist that this type of pattern is working. Vive is a bottoming pattern here, thrusting up over a $22 resistance, and now we're starting to take out some levels. I think that this one will be in play, and I'll be watching this for day trades, especially as long as it hangs around above this 50-day moving average. STV, looking for a crack. Probably needs a little bit more strength before I'd consider it truly parabolic. As we're up like $1.25 from its major breakout. Yeah, a little bit more than $1.25, but starting to get extended, starting to get overbought. This is one of those plays. Maybe you get a push through 5, and that'll probably set up some type of potential rubber band play. We'll keep an eye out on it. Moby, this one is just sitting here under its 50-day moving average. We don't have like necessarily the greatest any type of awesome setup or anything like that in terms of pattern, but it's holding this 6 level. And you can see it kind of gets stalled out by the 50-day moving average. These China stocks are going. They're going, and you're seeing them. We've got some new IPOs in them. In these China names, what's this? Z-Pins out there. And JD's been flying, and there's a whole host of them out there, some new ones, and I think that this is probably going to be a good sector to keep an eye on. So keep an eye on Moby. Your risk is limited down to 6. VJet, another stock that's coming out of range. Let's see if it pops over this 50-day moving average. It tends to be illiquid at times, so I'd like to see some expanding volume or high relative volume in this bad boy. KNDI, I love the location on this. We're just kind of got like a flag pattern. Good location here. This one definitely has some potential. UNXL starting to flag, had a couple 3-day kind of low volume pullback. Up a few points today. I think this one's going to be in play. It looks like we've got a bottoming pattern in this, judging by the volume pattern and things of that nature. TRMR, I've been watching this one. The volume has been, showed up originally on my scanner. So, it's got some expanding volume over here as it tries to bottom out. I don't know anything about this company. It was peeking its head out today. I just had this oddball feeling that not too many bottom stocks on, left here. This might be one of those stocks that, comes in and gets a big ripper to 5 or maybe even the 200-day moving average. Keep this on watch. It's really been just kind of basing out now for 9 months. VTL, I'm still watching this one for a crack. It's super extended, and even though it's flagging, usually a stock like this, if you just start to see, I'm looking for some type of sign that it's getting tired or people are getting sick of it. And then if it kind of cracks below, maybe it might even have to go below 30 to really flush out. But right now it's flagging. My bias is that, to short this thing as it's still pretty overbought and extended. But I'm watching this one. I haven't watched it because I've never played it. I haven't watched to see how it moves and how it feels. Some stocks run off dips, and some stocks run off the rips, and some stocks are better to short near resistance. Some stocks are better to short near breakdown spots. Every stock has its own personality, its own character of things and ways that it behaves. And so I need to watch this one for a little bit more time, but keep it on your watch list. MTG, yeah, another flat top breakout here, along with the flag here above 9. This one's been consolidating for quite some time too. And I probably personally won't trade this one. It's a thick stock. It trades a little bit thick, kind of like, not always, but, so from what I remember, this thing kind of trades like a Sirius satellite radio, big, thick, floaty stock. So, I'll have to watch it a little bit, but it's not my top play, even though I like the pattern. EBIX, breakdown, pullback to resistance at the 200-day moving average, some overbought stochastics. This one has some potential for a potential short. RCPT, this $40 level is just holding it back. It just kind of keeps thrusting into it and then falling back. Watch for that rip over 40. X1, very similar to VJet. You can see here, we're starting to put in some higher lows, and I think if it can get over this 50-day moving average in the next few days or so, it can rip. Trip, 104 areas that the resistance. It's got a flag pattern here. If it rips here, it's going to hit HODs, and then we'll see what happens, or 52s. Potbellies, another kind of stock that I'm watching on a bottom right now. This reminds me of a stock that I took in my IRA just a little while ago. We had this on the blog before. It was Grub. Grub kind of, once it kind of based out around here, once it finally came out of its range, it really, really went on a nice run. Potbelly's been around a little bit longer than that, but to me, it looks like that bottom is forming in on a recent IPO stock, and those can be powerful. And that's why I'm watching this WB also. This one's kind of a crappy trader. It seems to spike and then fade and spike and then fade. My worry on this and why I can't break this range is maybe it's got earnings around the corner or something like that. These China ding-dong stocks, it's like a lot of times, you can go on Yahoo Finance or Google Finance, and they'll tell you the earnings are, March 16th, 2014, and they come out freaking in August. You never know with these things. But it's starting to reach an inflection point. That $20 obviously is a key level there. I would not chase it up high. I would probably, if I get the sense that the breakout is coming, I like to get in early and then add some more later. I'd rather be first in and first out than last one in and last one out. But it looks pretty good here. My one worry is that, they've got some freaking a hidden disaster around the corner, and that's why it's having trouble moving here. I've seen that before in some of these Chinese names. Zendesk, this one might need some more time, but I do like it. I've been watching this one. It's not a tight flag yet. As you can see, it's kind of all over the place. But still, it's not bad. It seems like it spikes to 18, it comes back down. Spikes to 18, comes back down. So, let it fart around a little bit, and then we'll keep an eye on it. Something like an IPO stock like that. Most of the time I'd probably watch it more on like a 30-minute chart to really, get a lay of the land. Or you could even use an hourly chart and, make sure that you get a little bit more of a precise look at it. And then we have ACFN. This was a really, really hot stock. It had some pretty big volume on it. Nice kind of easy-go-lucky four-day pullback. only 20 cents on fairly low volume. Maybe it comes down here and gets closer to 220, but definitely I'm watching this one for a potential long. I do like the look of this, and this is another one that looks like it's bottomed out, and we're going to get a big run to maybe $3 or $3.50 at 200-day moving average. So that's it for now, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. We got a webinar on Wednesday, and a lot of fun stuff going on. We've got our swing trader service that's just been killing it. So if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, hit me up and we can talk about it. And I will see you guys all later. Take care.